You don't start Jesus. Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hello, my name is Orituke and we're discussing something very sensitive today and it's really important. Yeah, cut now. So let me carry my hair like this. If you've ever wondered how life is like on the island, maybe for you that you're coming in, you're new, or you just got here and you're wondering, how is the place? I'm sure this video is for you. Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hello, my name is Orituke, but you can call me Toke for short. And if you're stopping by for the very first time, I'm a student in Malta, currently residing in Malta, and I bring you information, updates and whatnot. And just this last week, I actually did a poll on my Instagram account, the other one, Touring Countries, where I document trips, places that I've gone to in Europe, Africa and beyond. I did a poll where people voted and I made a list of topics that I will be talking about on the channel soon. And people voted, and according to the poll, this topic is actually the number one. There are other important topics also on the list, but I was really surprised that a lot of people opted for dating and socializing in Malta, which is what I will be talking about in this video. I will definitely bring people on this channel where we will be doing a question and answer session talking about this exact topic. Loneliness is real, but we are coming to that. For a lot of people who have been following me for a while now, it's something I talk about a lot, and that is the fact that Malta is a very small place. Malta can be restricted or limited to the size when it comes to socializing, dating and all. Although there's a lot of activities going on, which I'm going to talk about later on in this video. When it comes to the size of the island, there's something about everyone knowing everyone. A lot of people know you and you don't even know they know you. So that's one thing that you need to understand. If you're going to talk about socializing with people, I always say that you also need to be careful of how you get along with people. I'm sure you don't want your issues or your drama or whatever is going on in your life to be out there. And when I say that, I mean like a lot of people are careful. My introverts, I see you guys. If you want to be really out there, you need to think about this aspect. Malta is really small, so words travel fast, information travel fast, even rumors travel fast. And as someone who has been here in the last 3 years, I would say, because it's going to be 3 years in a couple of months, I would tell you to not just be mindful of the people you move around with, but also to be careful of like what you say. This video is not really about advising, it's about me discussing what's going on the island, what you should expect, a couple of things that I have seen based off of experience. Although I didn't date here, I've been dating my husband. He was my fiancé, boyfriend turned fiancé turned husband. But I have friends who are still in the dating pool and we would always talk, and it's a crazy experience. It's a totally different experience compared to life abroad, especially if you are someone who is not familiar with life here. I'm gonna be discussing all that in this video. Grab your popcorn, grab your drink, call your friends, let's talk. And don't forget to subscribe. If you're someone who actually came from a very busy, hustling, bustling, like the New York type of place, and you were thinking of relocating or you came to Malta, I think there's going to be a lot of culture shocks. Like, you're going to be very surprised because the way things are done here are slightly different. The locals are actually very friendly. People here are they're a bit receptive, yes, because for me personally, I've not had like any terrible experience with anyone. But on a general theme, I would say for someone who came from out of Europe, it is usually a bit harder to settle in, except you find community, you find yourself in the midst of people that embrace you for you. The first thing I'm going to be addressing is there is no language barrier. In as much as people say, I can't learn Maltese, it's very hard, it's this, is that, it will be easy for you to actually mingle with people. At least Malta is not restricted to only Maltese, so that's also the fun part. This brings me to the next one, which is the dating apps. Yeah, if you're an introvert and you're probably someone who doesn't like to go out and all that, and you're probably the type that likes to chat with people, get to know them online first, there's Tinder, there's Bumble, there's all sorts of apps here, and yeah, you will find yourself swiping and probably seeing a lot of familiar faces, because like I said, there's a downside to it. Malta is quite small, and for me, I don't recommend the apps. Most of the time I don't recommend, because at the end of the day, I am someone who believes that you should go out and socialize and meet people, see their reaction, the real life reaction, because I feel like you're losing the originality these days. People don't even know how to show expression anymore. That's, by the way, let me not get into something else. So you can also use the apps. You can use Inge, you can use Tinder, all sorts of things. For me, I haven't tried that before till I got married, but I know people who actually used it and they met boyfriend. Some, the dates didn't go well, but you know what I mean. Using those apps could mean meeting familiar faces. That's just it. It's crazy. Yeah. Another thing that can also help you is finding a community, trying to fit into at least a group of friends, getting your own people, because even if it's just 2 or 3 people you have in your space, I still believe they can be your community. So that's what I mean by that, finding your community. Maltese people are really friendly people. A good advantage to this is the fact that there are a lot of people who came from all over. So Malta is not just limited to just Europeans. You would meet even people from Asia, you'd meet people from Africa. If you're an expat, you would find yourself socializing and mixing with other foreigners most of the time, because even me personally, I realized that a lot of people tend to stick with their own community. And when I say their own community, like we have the Indian community, we have the African community, we have even the Nepalese community here in Malta. And there's just, so many things going on. You make friends. There's a really big advantage to it. You get to hang out with all sorts of people. I think that's where you streamlining your friends and choosing the people you like in your space comes in. There is a very strong expat community in Malta where you would always find like occasions, events, things happening for even non-EU expatriates. Festivals, a lot of things happening. And I think if you're someone who likes to party, have fun, especially for students, the best place to start is probably school. For me personally, I always say that I don't hang out with my classmates. We meet in school and that's basically it. And I also think it's based off of my personality. I'm not someone who just meet people and allow them into my space. I study people first. And this is not to say that they are a certain way. No, it's just me. You can make friends from school, you can make friends from this events going on. That's why my introverts, you're going to have to step up, because that's one way to make friends, and you have to also stay updated. This is something I always say all the time, but that's also, by the way. So community is the first thing that you need. You need to always also look forward to events. And if you're someone who is not into events, going out, like my introvert people, for someone like me, I'm both introvert and extrovert. I love to talk, gist, hang out, and there are times that I don't want to pick calls, I don't want to talk to anybody. So yeah, so if you're an introvert, another thing that can also help you is the dating apps. All this is to say that from the month of May till September, Malta is usually lively. Malta comes alive. Like everything is just all bubbly. The beaches, the clubs, everything is just, I'm not a club girl, but yeah, you understand what I mean. So things are livelier, before we get into the slower months, which is in winter time. So from May till like about September, I know we're in October now because I'm shooting this in October. And I know that it's finally getting, a bit cool, cozy and all that. Yeah, if you notice, I'm wearing my long sleeve. Yeah, but not cold per se. But even inside the house, it's, a bit cool. I don't have to turn on the air conditioner anymore. But you know what I mean. So there's usually a time frame in the year where people, get to go out. In fact, in Malta, from the late April till like September, October, because now it's October, beaches are now getting like less crowded. I would say for me personally, it's the best time to go to the beach, even though yes, winter is creeping in, but it's the best time because it's less crowded. Children are in school and you can get to go out to the beach, have fun. It's free. There's a lot of nice beaches in Malta that you can go to. And I just want to say, from late April till the end of the year, September, there's festivals, there's events, there's always something in Malta. I don't know about Berlin and the likes, the places I've been to so far, but Malta, from the beginning of the year, once it's summer till the end of the year, there's always something. Even in Gozo, there's always an occasion. So trust me, you would always have events to attend, especially if you like to attend events. Away from Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and occasions and all that, this brings me to another part. The way people communicate here is kind of different. For someone like me, I always say that I came from Africa, West Africa. The way we communicate is kind of different. We let things flow, it's subtle and all. And here, some of the culture shocks that would happen if you come here or you're already here, that you would notice, is the way they communicate here. It's a bit direct, like people are just direct. The way Maltese people talk, it's a bit direct. You would find it to a certain extent hard to mix up with people, because for me, one of the things I struggled with was opening up about myself, like to someone I just met. For me, I am not like that. I believe that you should at least get to know the person with time, open up with time. It's subtle. But here, people can be very direct, and I think that's another thing that could be a shocker to a lot of people. The fact that you would have to meet people outdoors. That's why I smiled earlier when I mentioned introvert, because if you're an introvert, I wouldn't tell you to restrict yourself to just Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder, the dating apps that are available. I would advise you to go out often, because people here often socialize most of the time when you go out. Like, you have to go to these events. There's wine festivals, there's candlelight festivals, all kinds of things happening in Valletta, happening in Gozo, Melia. There's a lot of places you can go to, and honestly, I would also say one has to be careful, because dating here is kind of tricky. A lot of people, nationalities that you would meet here, expatriates that came here to work, students, people that are here, exchange students. You have to also be careful, because sometimes if you are dating, if you met someone and at some point you fall for the person, you fell in love with the person. If you are looking to pursue something long term and the person is probably just visiting, you may fall for someone who is not looking to start anything serious, and that's another thing entirely. So don't go break your own heart. That's left to you. If you're lucky, fine. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of mixed people. I would also advise that you do a lot of solo dates, because Malta is safe, at least to a certain extent. You can walk around at night, you can go to club and come back by 3 a.m. Even though I'm not an advocate for clubbing, I tried it and it wasn't it for me. I didn't like it. Let's just say I didn't feel safe. That's what I'll say. Take yourself out. As a lady, it's safe. For me, at the time before I even got married, before I traveled back to Nigeria, I would always go to Valletta. I would just take walks at night. I'll just take the bus and let the bus take me anyway. And sometimes I'll just look at it, okay, late night bus, come back home, and that's how I do it. And even till now, I still do it. And like I said earlier, try not to pursue, it's not in my hands, so it's not me that would say that. But if you're looking to date, it's a bit tricky if you're pursuing something long term, but you never know. But I believe if you're open-minded and you're open to, new culture, and you're open to getting to know people, you would meet people, you would definitely have fun. Malta is really nice. The Mediterranean lifestyle, it's really nice. And I think their culture is also influenced a lot by the British culture. And that's all I'll say about that. Maltese people also know how to have fun, live life basically. And I think if you can emulate that, you will be fine. Dating here should not be a problem. Socializing here should not be a problem if you can find your own community. That's what I'm saying. I would also like to add, before I go, that you also need to understand that reputation matters a lot in Malta. One thing about Malta that I have learned so far since I've been staying here, in the 3 years that I've been here, is the fact that words spread, like I started in the video, and hearsay is even faster than what really happened. So one has to be careful. Your reputation matters a lot, and that's why I keep repeating that for a place where people are really direct, I would advise you, now this is my own take personally, I would advise that you are direct no confusion. Like, say your mind. If you meet someone and you really like them and you feel like they're playing around with you, let it be known. Unless you two, you're just there to have fun and find your way. So I would say communicate about your feelings on time. Avoid mixed signals, because here you would see guy will be say, I don't speak broken because let me not say anything. You would see someone that has a babe back home that is dating like 3-4 girls. A guy that has his wife back home, maybe in Nigeria, and sometimes even here, dating like 3-4 girls at the same time. And some of these girls will know that this person is married and they will still follow. Anyway, that's a normal thing. That happens everywhere. So my own is, in whatever you're doing, tread carefully, because words get out and people share words of mouth. Reputation matters in this part of the world, and even to get jobs, to actually do anything, reputation matters. And even Maltese, one thing I've noticed is if you're looking for a job, whether the blue collar job, the white collar job, people actually recommend themselves here. People recommend, whether from Indians to Pakistani, Africans to Nepalese. People actually get jobs based off of recommendation. That's why you cannot underestimate power of community, and just at least once in a while leaving your house, even if it's just church you go to, it is also a form of community. You need that. You cannot remove that aspect. And if you're someone who doesn't want to go to church or mosque or a place of worship, just try as much as possible when you go out, talk to people, try to make friends. I'm telling you, try to make friends. It works out eventually. And like I said, reputation matters. I've come to realize that a lot of opportunities that I've gotten so far that I'm in Malta came through the fact that I did not close my mouth. When I say I did not close my mouth, it came from, I did well in this place, I got recommended for another job, because I do movie extras, I also do my modeling on the side, I do all sorts of in the entertainment industry. I also go to school. When I need something, I'm really open. I ask people. I am not afraid to ask people if I don't know anything, if I don't know what's going on. I call one. Anybody can be useful to you. That's what I'm saying. In this abroad life, anybody can be useful to you. And I think what I've said so far can even be applied to other places. If you find yourself in the UK, if you find yourself in places like the US and all, you also need to be careful of your circle. If you're in the midst of people where you cannot trust them, that's also another problem. I would also say don't restrict yourself to just the expat community. I would say you should also go out of your community. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. If you really want to experience the Maltese culture, you have to make an effort to at least mix with other people, people out of your culture. That's what I'm basically saying. That's all I have for you today. Have fun, but along the way you also have to be smart about things. Don't trust people unnecessarily. You can meet people with genuine intention, but you also have to be careful. Don't trust people easily. You have to be careful. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. We are growing, and honestly, I can't wait to get to 10k. I can't wait to get to 100k. I'll see you guys real soon. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video real soon. Yeah, real soon. Bye.